The cafe owner's hands were shaking. Mirabel noticed it first. The way Min-seok gripped the counter edge, knuckles white against dark wood, as two men in sharp suits leaned across the bar top speaking rapid Korean in voices that weren't quite whispers. She'd walked in 30 seconds ago, jet-lagged and desperate for caffeine, and now every instinct screamed leave. But her laptop bag was already sliding off her shoulder. Her feet had carried her 3 steps inside. And the man behind the counter, tall, impeccably dressed in a black button-down that probably cost more than her flight here, had just looked up and seen her. His eyes went wide. Not startled wide. Devastated wide. The suited men turned. One of them smiled, but it was the kind of smile that made Mirabel's stomach drop. "Customer," he said in English, too smooth. "We'll finish this conversation later." Min-seok's sigh. They left. The brass bell above the door chimed too cheerfully. The silence felt like a held breath. Min-seok stared at Mirabel like she was a ghost. His throat worked. "Mirabel," he whispered. "The girl who sent me.
Right.
The one from Zambia who drew the stars," Mirabel finished, and her bag hit the floor. "What are the odds that the boy you promised to meet someday would be waiting in a Seoul café 20 years later, looking terrified to see you? And why would that scare him? Like this story. Drop a comment with your favorite childhood promise you kept, or wish you had. And subscribe. We're dropping stories like this every week." The sketchbook had fallen open. Mirabel saw it on the floor between them, the page with a faded crayon drawing, 2 stick figures under a night sky scattered with gold stars. Her 7-year-old handwriting, "To my friend in Korea, let's meet under these stars one day. Mirabel Lusaka." Min-seok moved around the counter like he was sleepwalking. He crouched, picked up the paper with trembling fingers. "I kept mine too," he said, voice rough. "In a box upstairs. Your drawing of Victoria Falls with the rainbow. You said it was magic. You sent me a sketch of a hammock roof," Mirabel breathed, "with snow on it. I had no idea what snow felt like. And now you're here." He looked up at her, still crouching, and something in his expression cracked. "You're actually here. In Seoul. In my café. After 20 years. You run a café." Mirabel's voice pitched high. "Min-seok, you're the shy kid who said he wanted to be an astronomer and live in the mountains. People change." He stood too fast and shoved the drawing at her. You can't be here right now." That landed like cold water. "Excuse me. I mean." He scrubbed a hand through black hair that fell perfectly back into place. "God, that came out wrong. Those men. Who were they?" "Business associates." The lie was so obvious Mirabel almost laughed. "Look, it's complicated. Can you come back? Tomorrow. I close at 10 but I can stay open for you. We can talk properly." "Min-seok." Mirabel picked up her bag, settled it on her shoulder, and looked him dead in the eye. "I've been traveling for 19 hours. I'm supposed to be making content about Seoul's hidden gems for 200,000 subscribers. I walked into this cafe because it looked quiet and you're standing there acting like I'm dangerous." "You're not dangerous," he said quickly. "I am." The words hung there. Mirabel should have left. She'd built a career on instincts, knowing which street markets were safe to film, which guides to trust, when a situation felt wrong. Everything about this moment felt wrong. But this was Min-seok, the boy who'd sent her drawings of constellations with their Korean names written in careful English, who'd told her about his grandmother's garden and the sound of rain on tile roofs, who'd written, "Someday I'll show you the stars from Namsan Tower. Promise. I'll order a latte," she said. "You'll make it. And then you'll tell me why you're scared of me being here." His jaw tightened. For a moment she thought he'd refuse. Then, "Americano or latte?" "Latte. With oat milk if you have it." "I have it." He moved behind the espresso machine, hands suddenly steady. Muscle memory. Still 2 sugars. Mirabel felt something crack in her chest. "You remember that." "I remember everything." The machine hissed. Steam rose between them. You wrote that your mother made the best nshima in Lusaka, that you wanted to document every waterfall in Africa, that you were afraid of the dark until I sent you the glow-in-the-dark star stickers. I still have those stars, Mirabel admitted. On my bedroom ceiling at home. Min-seok's hands paused. He looked at her over the machine, and his expression did something complicated. You kept them. I kept everything. She swallowed. Every letter. Every drawing. I lost your address when my family moved, and by the time I tried to find you through the school program they said it had shut down. I don't know what I thought. That you'd forgotten me. That it was just kid stuff. Kid stuff, he repeated flatly. He finished the latte, carried it around the counter, set it on the table closest to the window, the one with afternoon light pooling gold across dark wood. Sit. Please. Mirabel sat. The cafe was small, maybe 10 tables, exposed brick walls, Edison bulbs hanging from black cords. A chalkboard menu in Korean and English. Plants everywhere trailing from shelves. Felt like someone's living room. Quiet. Except Min-seok looked like he was waiting for the walls to explode. He sat across from her, didn't touch his own coffee. How long are you in Seoul? 2 weeks. Sponsored content series. She pulled out her phone, showed him her Instagram, at Mirabel Wonders. Profile picture her grinning in front of Kalambo Falls. I document hidden travel spots. Cultural stories. Started it 5 years ago as a hobby, now it's my whole life, basically. He scrolled through her feed. Stopped on a video of her dancing at a Zambian wedding. Traditional chitenge fabric bright against sunset. Something softened in his face. You made it happen. What? You said you'd show people your world. And you did. He handed back the phone. I'm proud of you. The words hit harder than they should. Mirabel blinked fast. What about you? Astronomer didn't work out. No. Short. Final. So you opened a cafe. 5 years ago. After I came back from. He stopped. It doesn't matter. I needed something that was mine. Came back from where? University. In the States. Mirabel waited. When he didn't elaborate. Min-seok. You're being weird. I know. Those men weren't business associates. No. Are you in trouble? His laugh was bitter. You could say that. Or you could say I am trouble. Depends on perspective. The door chimed. An elderly woman entered. Spoke to Min-seok in rapid Korean. He answered, started making her drink. Iced Americano, no questions asked. They exchanged pleasantries. The woman left. The whole interaction took 2 minutes and transformed him. Easy smile, warm voice, the kind of cafe owner who knew everyone's order. The mask dropped the second the door closed. You do this every day, Mirabel said quietly. Pretend to be someone else. Everyone pretends. He sat back down. You pretend the camera's not there when you're filming. That you're just a girl exploring, not someone performing travel. That's not the same. Isn't it? Mirabel sipped her latte. Perfect temperature. Perfect foam. Who are you really, Min-seok? I don't know anymore. He looked at his hands. But I know who I was supposed to be. And it's not this. It's not. He gestured at the cafe. My family expected me to come back from university and step into their business. Take my place. Do my duty. What kind of business? The kind where men in suits show up unannounced and you can't say no. I slid down Mirabel's spine. Your family is powerful. His voice went flat. Connected. They own half of Gangnam, have politicians in their pocket, run operations that don't exist on paper. And I'm the oldest son, which means I'm expected to. He stopped, shook his head. You should go. Seriously. Being seen with me is complicated. I don't do simple, Mirabel said. I once hiked 12 hours to film a waterfall everyone said was cursed. I've eaten street food that made me sick for a week because the story was worth it. And I just flew halfway around the world to find Seoul's hidden gems. So if you think I'm running because you're complicated. Mirabel. Her name in his mouth sounded like prayer and warning. Those men earlier. They're my uncle's people. He runs the family operations. And the reason they were here is because someone told him I've been. He stopped. Distracted. Not focused. He wanted to remind me what happens when I forget my responsibilities. What happens? People I care about get hurt. He met her eyes. So I don't care about people. I run this cafe, I go to family meetings, I smile and nod and sign papers, and I don't let anyone close enough to matter. And yet you're telling me this. Because you already matter. The confession came out raw. You've mattered for 20 years. And I don't know how to make that stop. The air between them felt electric. Mirabel set down her cup. Show me. What? You said you stargazed from Namsan Tower. You promised me stars, Min-seok. I came halfway around the world. Show me. It's daytime. Then show me the cafe. The rooftop garden you mentioned. Show me who you are when you're not pretending. She leaned forward. I didn't find you again just to lose you because you're scared. I'm not scared, he said automatically. Liar. His mouth twitched. You got bold. You got sad. She reached across the table, touched his hand. His fingers were cold. The boy I knew wanted adventure. What happened to him? He grew up, Min-seok said quietly, and learned that adventure gets people killed. Or, Mirabel countered. He learned to be careful, which is different. She squeezed his hand. I'm not asking you to blow up your life. I'm asking for coffee and conversation with an old friend. Can you give me that? He stared at their hands. Mirabel's brown fingers against his pale ones. Her turquoise rings bright in the afternoon light. One condition, he finally said. Okay. You can't post about me. No Instagram, no blog, nothing. This cafe doesn't exist in your content. Deal. And if I tell you to leave, if things get dangerous, you leave. No questions. Min-seok. Promise me. His grip tightened. Promise you'll run if I tell you to. Mirabel hesitated. Then. I promise I'll consider it. That's not. Best offer you're getting. She smiled. Now. Ours. Rooftop. And maybe dinner. I haven't eaten since Addis Ababa and I'm pretty sure my stomach is eating itself. Min-seok laughed. Actually laughed. It transformed his face. Made him look younger, lighter, like the boy who'd drawn constellations in crayon. There's a Pojangmaka 2 blocks from here. Street food. You'll love it. Is it one of Seoul's hidden gems? It's where I eat when I remember I'm human. He stood, pulled out his phone. Give me your number. I close at 10 but I can actually screw it. I'm closing early. You can't just close. I can do whatever I want. He was already flipping the sign on the door, pulling down shades. Perks of being the boss. And the black sheep. My uncle will hear about it and be pissed, which honestly makes it better. You're insane. Probably. He grabbed a jacket from behind the counter. Expensive leather, perfectly worn. Come on. I'll show you the Seoul Nobody films. And then tonight we'll go to the rooftop. The stars won't be as bright as from Namsan Tower, but they'll be ours, Mirabel finished. Something passed between them. A recognition deeper than names and old letters. Yeah, Min-seok said softly. Ours. The Pojangmaka was exactly what Mirabel imagined and nothing like it at once. Orange tent, plastic stools. A grandmother manning the grill with the efficiency of a general. Min-seok ordered in rapid Korean. Tteokbokki, oding, sundae, soju. I don't drink soju, Mirabel protested. You will tonight. He poured 2 shots. 2 old promises. And new ones, she added. They clinked glasses. The soju burned. Mirabel coughed. Min-seok grinned. Okay, that's terrible. It gets better. He poured another. Or you stop caring. One of the two. Min-seok told her about the cafe. How he'd bought it with money his grandmother left him. the only inheritance that came without strings. How he spent mornings baking pastries, afternoons serving regulars, evenings alone with his books and silence. How it was the only place he felt real. Mirabel told him about her brand, the partnerships, the pressure to always be on, the exhaustion of performing wanderlust. How sometimes she missed just traveling for herself without the camera. How she still carried that old sketchbook everywhere as a reminder of why she started. "You never married," Min-seok said. "Not a question." "No. You." "God, no." He looked horrified. "My family tried to arrange matches. Daughters of politicians, other chaebol families, the usual networking bullshit. I refused." "Why?" He met her eyes across cheap plastic bowls and streetlight glow. "Because none of them drew me stars." Mirabel's heart did something complicated. They drank more soju. The grandmother brought them extra fish cakes, winked at Min-seok, said something in Korean that made him blush. Mirabel caught the word yepyoyo, pretty. "She thinks you're pretty," Min-seok translated. "And that I should bring you by every day. Also that I smile more with you here, which she's never seen before, so clearly you're magic. I like her. She reminds me of my grandmother, the one who left me the café money." His expression softened. "She was the only one who understood. Told me to run from the family if I could. Said some legacies were poison. You couldn't run. I'm the oldest son. Running means they come after me. And everyone I care about becomes leverage." He looked at her. "You see why I wanted you to leave. And you see why I won't." They finished eating. Min-seok paid, waved away her protests, and led her through narrow streets where graffiti bloomed on old walls and cafes spilled golden light onto wet pavement. Seoul at night was neon and shadow, ancient and modern smashed together. "This is Hongdae," he said. "Most tourists stick to the main streets. But back here," he turned down an alley, "this is where students come. Artists, people who don't fit. People like you. People like us." He glanced back. "You don't fit either, Mirabel. You never did. That's why we became friends." They reached a building, 5 stories, black paint, no signs. Min-seok unlocked a side door, led her up concrete stairs. The top, another door. He pushed it open. The rooftop garden stole her breath. Plants everywhere, in pots, raised beds hanging from metal frames. Fairy lights strung between support beams. Telescope on a tripod. Blankets and cushions arranged on weathered wood. And above it all, the Seoul skyline glittering like someone had scattered diamonds. "Min-seok," Mirabel breathed. "This is my real space." He moved to the telescope, adjusted it without looking. Muscle memory. "I come here every clear night. Track constellations. Pretend I'm somewhere else. You're an astronomer after all. In secret." He smiled sad. "Everything good I do is in secret." Mirabel walked to the edge, looked out over the city. Her city for the next 2 weeks. His city forever. "Will you show me the stars you wanted to show me when we were kids? They're not the same from here as Namsan Tower. Light pollution." "Min-seok." He turned. "Show me." He came to stand beside her. Not touching, but close enough that she felt his warmth. "There," he said, pointing. "That bright one. That's Vega. In Korea we call it Jiknyo. The Weaver Star. I know this story." Mirabel leaned against the railing. The Weaver girl and the cow herder. Separated by the Milky Way. Allowed to meet once a year. "You remember. I told you. I kept everything." She looked at him. "Your letter about that story. You said someday you'd meet someone worth crossing the sky for." Min-seok went very still. "Did you?" Mirabel asked softly. "Find someone worth crossing the sky for?" "I think she crossed it first." His voice was rough. "Flew halfway around the world and walked into my café like she'd been sent to ruin me. Ruin you or save you. Maybe both." He turned to face her fully. "Mirabel, I need you to understand something. My family, the things they do. His phone rang. Min-seok's face went blank. He pulled it out, looked at the screen, and something died in his eyes. I have to take this. Okay. He walked to the far corner, answered in Korean. Mirabel couldn't understand the words, but she heard the tone. Deferential, careful, like he was defusing a bomb. The conversation lasted 3 minutes. When he hung up, his shoulders were rigid. I have to go, he said. Family meeting. My uncle wants to discuss. He stopped. It doesn't matter. I'm sorry. Don't be. Tomorrow. He came to her quickly, grabbed her hands. Come back tomorrow. Same time. I'll close the cafe and we'll. Min-seok, you don't have to. Yes, I do. His grip tightened. Please. Come back. There was desperation in his voice that scared her. I'll come back, Mirabel promised. He kissed her forehead. Quick, fierce. Then he was gone, footsteps echoing down the stairs. Mirabel stood alone on the rooftop, Seoul glittering below, stars faint above. She pulled out her phone. Texted her agent. Found a story. Might need to extend the trip. The response came immediately. The Seoul content or something else. Mirabel looked at the telescope, the blankets, the careful garden one man maintained alone. Something else, she typed. Something that might break my heart. She dreamed of letters that night. Crayon drawings and childhood promises. Min-seok's careful handwriting describing snow. Her own round letters talking about rainstorms. The way they'd shared everything across thousands of miles. Fears, hopes, the kinds of secrets kids tell strangers because strangers feel safe. When had he stopped feeling safe to her? When had she started wanting to protect him instead? Her hotel alarm went off at 9. She had content to create. A walking tour of Bukshan Hanok village, a segment on traditional tea ceremonies. Professional Mirabel got up, dressed in her filming outfit, did her makeup, checked her camera, smiled at herself in the mirror. The smile felt like a mask. She filmed anyway, posted a teaser on Instagram stories. Day 2 in Seoul, taking you to the most beautiful traditional neighborhood. Stay tuned. Hearts and comments flooded in immediately. But her mind was on a rooftop. Scared man. A promise she'd made 20 years ago to meet under stars. At 5 she caught a taxi to Hongdae. The cafe looked different in evening light. Warmer, more lived in. Through the window she saw Min-seok behind the counter, talking to a young woman with dyed blonde hair. They were laughing. He looked lighter. Mirabel pushed open the door. Min-seok's smile dimmed. Hey! Hey yourself! The blonde woman turned. Pretty, early 20s, curious eyes. She said something in Korean. English, Yuna, Min-seok said. This is Mirabel. She's an old friend. The one from your letters. Yuna's eyes went wide. The pen pal. Oh my God, he talks about you constantly. Yuna, Min-seok said warningly. What? It's true. You keep that box of letters like it's the crown jewels. And whenever you're sad Yuna. Okay. She grinned at Mirabel. I'm his barista. And best friend. And the person who tells him when he's being an idiot about his feelings. Useful skill, Mirabel said, liking her immediately. Right. Yuna grabbed her bag. I'm out. Boss, stop being weird. Mirabel, he's less broken than he looks. Also, he made your favorite pastry. It's in the back, still warm. She breezed out. Silence descended. She seems nice, Mirabel offered. She's a menace. But Min-seok was smiling. Her mom used to work for my family. Yuna wanted out, needed a job. Hired her. Now she terrorizes me. Terrorizes you how? Makes me take breaks. Tells customers I'm single when they flirt. Hides my phone when I'm stressed. He came around the counter. She thinks I need saving. Do you? Probably. He held out a small plate. Pastry twisted into a flower shape, dusted with sugar, smelling like cardamom and honey. I remembered you said your mom made mandotsi on special occasions. This isn't the same, but... Mirabel took it. Bit down. The flavor exploded, sweet, spiced, perfect. Oh my God. Good. Min-seok, this is incredible. I've been practicing. He ducked his head. Thought if you ever came back I'd want to, I don't know, have something to offer. The vulnerability in his voice cracked her open. You don't have to earn my presence, Mirabel said quietly. You already have it. Just by being you. The me who's running from his family. The you who keeps letters in a box. Who builds gardens on rooftops. Who remembers what people like. She set down the plate. That's the you I want to know better. Min-seok looked at her like she was impossible. How long are you in Seoul again? 2 weeks. Okay. He took a breath. 2 weeks. We can be careful for 2 weeks. We'll close early. We'll explore. I'll show you everything. And then? Then what? Then you'll go home to Lusaka and I'll go back to pretending I'm fine alone. Or, Mirabel said, I could stay. You can't. Why not? Because my family will. He stopped. Ran both hands through his hair. You don't understand what they're capable of. So explain. Mirabel. Min-seok. She moved closer. You keep trying to protect me by pushing me away. But I'm not fragile. I've survived malaria, visa issues in 6 countries. And a car accident in Tanzania that should have killed me. I've been scammed, threatened, and propositioned by men who thought a woman traveling alone was easy prey. I'm still here. Still traveling. Still fighting for what I want. And what do you want? Right now. She looked him in the eye. To know the boy who sent me stars. And the man he became. Even if it's complicated. Especially if it's complicated. The door chimed. Min-seok's entire body went rigid. 3 men entered. Expensive. The same 2 from yesterday, plus a third, older, silver-haired, carrying authority like a weapon. He looked at Mirabel, then at Min-seok and smiled. It was the coldest smile Mirabel had ever seen. Min-seok, the man said in English, smooth. You didn't mention you had international guests. Uncle. Min-seok's voice went flat. This is a private meeting. Is it? The uncle's eyes never left Mirabel. Or is this the distraction I've been hearing about? Travel blogger. Mirabel, yes. From Zambia. Ice flooded Mirabel's veins. He knew her name, her country, her profession. Sir, she said carefully. I'm just a customer. No. He moved closer. You're an investment. Or a liability. I haven't decided which yet. He looked at Min-seok. You have 10 minutes. Then we're leaving. There are papers to sign. Family obligations to honor. He left. His men stationed themselves outside, visible through the window. Min-seok looked shattered. How much did he investigate me? Mirabel asked quietly. Everything. Min-seok's voice was hollow. By the time you walked out yesterday, he knew your passport number, your hotel, your content schedule, who sponsors you, where your family lives. He probably knows more about you than I do. Why? Because you matter to me. And anything that matters to me is either leverage or elimination. The words landed like bullets. I need you to go, Min-seok said. Back to your hotel. Change hotels, actually. Book somewhere random, pay cash. And tomorrow don't come back here. Explore Seoul, make your content, forget you ever saw this place. Min-seok. Please. He grabbed her shoulders. I can handle my uncle's anger. I can handle consequences for myself. But if he thinks hurting you will control me. His voice cracked. Mirabel, I just found you again. I can't, I won't let him. Okay, she said. He blinked. Okay. I'll go. She pulled out her phone. Give me your number. Real one, not just café contact. He hesitated, then recited it. She typed it in, called him. His phone buzzed. Now you have mine, Mirabel said. And when you're ready to stop protecting me and start trusting me, call. It's not about trust. Yes, it is. She touched his face. You think I can't handle your world. But you don't know what I can handle. You're guessing. And you're scared. So figure out if you want me in your life or just in your memories. She kissed his cheek, grabbed her bag, walked to the door. Mirabel, Min-seok called. He turned. The rooftop, he said. Midnight. If you're willing to risk it. I'm willing, she said. Are you? She left before he could answer. Outside, the suited men watched her. Mirabel met the uncle's eyes, cold, calculating, and smiled. The kind of smile she used for corrupt border officials and aggressive taxi drivers. The smile that said, I'm not afraid of you. She walked away, back straight, heart hammering. But she was absolutely terrified. Mirabel changed hotels. Booked a small guest house in Itaewon under her middle name, Grace. Paid cash. Told the owner she was writing a novel, needed privacy. They nodded, asked no questions. She spent the evening researching Seoul crime families, Korean syndicates, Chaebol hidden operations. The results were sanitized. Articles about corporate restructuring, political donations, real estate empires. But between the lines, if you knew where to look, rumors, disappearances, businesses that folded overnight when they refused buyouts, investigations that stalled, names. One name, specifically, appearing in connection to dozens of legitimate companies. Hwang Industries. She pulled up their website. Luxury developments, import-export, cultural preservation initiatives. A polite way of saying gentrification. The CEO was listed as Hwang Jin-seok. The advisory board included politicians, judges, business magnates. And there, in a tiny caption under a gala photo from 5 years ago, Hwang Min-seok, youngest son, pictured with his uncle, company director Hwang Dong-wook. Min-seok in a tuxedo, expression blank, standing beside the silver-haired man from the café. Mirabel zoomed in. Even in formal wear, surrounded by wealth, Min-seok looked trapped. Youngest son. Not heir apparent. Which meant there was someone else, an older brother. Father. Someone who was supposed to carry the legacy until they couldn't. She kept digging. Found an article from 8 years ago. Tragic accident claims life of Hwang heir apparent. The details were vague. Car crash, no foul play suspected, family requests privacy. After that crash, Min-seok became next in line. Mirabel sat back. Her hotel room felt suddenly small. She'd promised to meet him at midnight, but now she understood the stakes. This wasn't complicated family business. This was organized crime with political ties, millions in dirty money, and people who made problems disappear. And Min-seok was trying to protect her from it. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. If you actually care about him, you'll leave Seoul. Tonight. This is your only warning. Mirabel stared at the message. Blocked the number. Packed her camera bag. At 11:45 she left the guest house. The taxi dropped her 3 blocks from the café. She walked the rest, checking over her shoulder. No one followed or no one obvious. The streets were quieter here, away from Hongdae's main drag. Café was dark. Mirabel went around back, found the unmarked door. Unlocked. She climbed the concrete stairs, heart pounding. The rooftop door opened before she knocked. Min-seok stood there, silhouetted against fairy lights. You came. I said I would. Even after. Especially after. She stepped onto the rooftop. Someone texted me. Told me to leave Seoul if I cared about you. His jaw tightened. My uncle. I blocked the number. Mirabel. No. She moved to him. You asked me to come here at midnight. That means you made a choice. So now I need to know, what are we doing? Are we pretending this is just old friends catching up? Or are we admitting this is something else? What do you want it to be? Don't do that. Don't deflect. She grabbed his shirt. I flew halfway around the world and accidentally found you. You keep letters in a box and bake my favorite pastries. We're standing on a rooftop at midnight because neither of us could stay away. So tell me, what do you want? I want you safe, he said immediately. After that, I want, His voice broke. God, Mirabel, I want everything. I want to show you Seoul properly. Take you to Jeju Island and Busan. Introduce you to my grandmother's favorite restaurants. I want to learn about Zambia from you, not just letters. I want to film your vlogs and be off camera and just exist with you. I want to not be the heir for once in my fucking life and just be the boy who promised you stars. Okay. Okay. So let's do that. Mirabel slid her hands up to his face. 2 weeks. We explore Seoul. You teach me Korean food. I teach you Zambian dance. We film nothing. Tell no one. And when my visa runs out, we figure it out then. My family will find out. Probably. They'll use you against me. They'll try. She smiled. But I'm not as breakable as you think. And you're not as trapped as you believe. You don't know. Then show me. She pulled him closer. Show me everything. The good and the bad. The cafe owner and the syndicate heir. The boy with the crayon drawings and the man who builds gardens in secret. All of it. And let me decide if I'm staying or running. Min-seok stared at her. You're insane. I traveled to 30 countries in 5 years and built a career on Wi-Fi and hope. Insane is kind of my brand. He laughed. Actually laughed. Then he kissed her. It was soft at first. Tentative, like he expected her to vanish. Mirabel kissed back harder, pulling him close, making it clear she was real and here and choosing this. His hands tangled in her hair. She gripped his shirt. The city glittered below them and the stars were faint overhead and nothing had ever felt more right. When they broke apart, Min-seok was breathing hard. 2 weeks. 2 weeks, Mirabel agreed. Starting now. What are we doing first? First. He smiled, really smiled, the kind that reached his eyes. First, I'm teaching you the constellations. The real ones, not the kid version. And then I'm taking you to the best late-night ramen place in Seoul. And then I'm going to kiss you again. And keep kissing you until you understand that I've been half in love with you since we were 7 years old, and seeing you again didn't fix that. It made it worse. Mirabel's heart exploded. Worse how? Because now you're real. His thumb traced her cheekbone. Not just letters and dreams. And I don't know if I can survive losing something real. Then don't lose me, she whispered. Fight for me. And let me fight for you. He kissed her again. Longer this time, deeper, like he was memorizing her. When they finally pulled apart, he led her to the telescope. There, he said, adjusting it. Look. Mirabel peered through. The city lights faded. Stars bloomed. Clusters and spirals and infinite distance. That's Cassiopeia, Min-seok said, voice soft beside her ear. The queen who was punished for vanity. And there, that's Cepheus, her king. They're stuck circling the North Star for eternity. Forever punishment or forever together. Both. His hand found hers. Sometimes love looks like punishment. Sometimes punishment looks like love. Perspective matters. What's your perspective? Mirabel turned from the telescope. That this, you and me and these stolen moments, might be the only real thing I've ever had. And if it costs me everything else, he shrugged. Maybe everything else wasn't worth keeping. Min-seok. I know. I'm being dramatic. But I've spent 10 years playing a role I hate, waiting for permission to live. And you show up and suddenly I'm remembering what wanting something feels like. He pulled her close. So yeah, 2 weeks. Let's make them count. They spent the rest of the night on the rooftop. Min-seok taught her stars, their Korean names, their myths, their science. Mirabel taught him about Zambian folklore, how her grandmother said stars were the eyes of ancestors watching. They shared ramen at 2 a.m. from a pojangmaka run by an insomniac college student. Talked about everything and nothing. At 4 a.m., Min-seok walked her back to Itaewon, stopped 2 blocks from her guest house. I don't know your hotel name, he said. On purpose. Why? Because what I don't know I can't tell. If my uncle asks, he'll hurt you. It wasn't a question. He'll try. Min-seok kissed her forehead. Tomorrow. Well, today. Come to the cafe at 3. We'll close early. We'll go to Bukhansan, hiking trail, secret temple. Sunset view you can't get anywhere else. I have content to film. So film it in the morning. Please, Mirabel. Give me your afternoons. Just your afternoons. She wanted to say yes immediately. But, what about your uncle? Let me worry about him. Min-seok. Mirabel. He grabbed her hands. I've been worrying about my family for 10 years. Let me be reckless for 2 weeks. Please. The desperation in his voice broke her. Okay, she whispered. 3 p.m. I'll be there. He kissed her one more time. Then he was gone, disappearing into Seoul's pre-dawn streets. Mirabel went to her room, laid on the bed, stared at the ceiling. What am I doing? Her phone buzzed. Min-seok made it home. Thank you for staying. Thank you for asking me to, she typed back. I'm going to fight for this, he sent. Fair warning. Good, she replied. Too. She fell asleep smiling. Morning came too fast. Mirabel forced herself up, showered, checked her messages. Her agent wanted updates. Sponsors wanted content. Instagram wanted posts. Professional Mirabel showed up. She filmed Gyeongbokgung Palace at sunrise, did a walking tour of Insadong, ate tteokbokki on camera and enthused about street food culture. Posted it all with bright captions and strategic hashtags. But her mind was elsewhere. At 2:45 she caught a taxi to Hongdae. Min-seok was waiting outside the cafe, wearing hiking gear, dark pants, fitted jacket, boots that had seen actual trails. He looked different. Younger. Sighted. Ready, he asked. Do I need actual hiking experience, or are you going easy on me? I'm taking you to my favorite spot in Seoul. It's earned. So moderately difficult. So worth it. He grinned. Trust me. They took the subway to Gupabel station. Min-seok bought them kimbap and bottled water from a convenience store. Showed her how to use the hiking poles properly. Made her laugh with commentary about Seoul's intense hiking culture. Entire families in matching outfits, elderly women power walking past college students. The trail started easy. Paved stones, gentle incline. Then dirt path. Then rocks and roots and actual climbing. You okay? Min-seok called back. I've hiked Zambian mountains, Mirabel panted. I'm fine. Liar. Okay, I'm dying, but I'm committed to the lie. He laughed, slowed down, walked beside her instead of ahead. They talked as they climbed. Min-seok told her about his childhood. Strict tutors, private schools, constant pressure to be perfect. How his older brother had been the favorite, the heir everyone adored. How when he died, the family expectations shifted overnight to Min-seok, who'd spent his whole life preparing for freedom, not succession. I was supposed to study astronomy, he said quietly. Had a full scholarship to a program in California. My grandmother fought for me to go. Said I deserved my own life. And then your brother died. And then I became the spare who got promoted. He helped her over a tricky rock formation. I did 1 year in California. Fell in love with it. Research, late nights at the observatory, friends who didn't know my family name. Then my father called. Said it was time to come home. Do my duty. You went back. My grandmother was sick. If I didn't come home, they'd have cut her off from family money, medical care, everything. So I came back. Got a business degree. Started attending meetings. Learning operations. His voice went hollow. Learning what we really do. The real estate fronts. The protection rackets. The politicians we own. The people who disappear when there are problems. Mirabel stopped walking. Min-seok. I never participated directly, he said quickly. I sat in meetings, signed papers, showed up at galas. But I'm not. He stopped. I'm complicit. That's still bad. You were trapped. I had choices. I just chose wrong. Kept choosing wrong because it was easier than fighting. Because my grandmother needed me. Because I was scared. When did she die? 5 years ago. His eyes were distant. Her last words to me were run. I didn't. I used her inheritance to buy the cafe instead. Compromise. I do the family business but keep one space for myself. Pathetic, right? Human, Mirabel said. Not pathetic. Human. They kept climbing. At the summit the temple appeared. Small, ancient, tucked against rock. Prayer flags fluttered in the wind. And the view. Mirabel gasped. All of Seoul spread below them. Mountains and skyscrapers and rivers. The sun hung low, turning everything gold and rose. It was breathtaking. Come on, Min-seok said. There's a better spot. He led her past the temple to a flat rock outcropping. They sat. He unpacked the kimbap. I proposed here once, he said casually. Mirabel choked on water. What? To myself. Not literally. He smiled. I meant, I came here 5 years ago right after my grandmother died. Sat on this rock. And I proposed a deal to myself. Stay for 10 more years. Play the part. Then at 40 I'd leave. Disappear. Move to some small town, open a cafe somewhere nobody knew me. Start over. And now I'm 30. Halfway to freedom. He looked at her. Or I was. Before you walked into my cafe and ruined everything. Ruined. Made me want to not wait 10 more years. He took her hand. Made me want to fight for this. Screw the plan. Screw waiting for permission. Just fight. Your uncle won't let you walk away. Probably not without blood. He said it like it was weather. But maybe I'm tired of bleeding slowly. Maybe a quick wound is better. Min-seok, that's insane. No. You keep saying that. He squeezed her hand. Tell me about Zambia. Your family. What I missed in the years between letters. So she did. Told him about her mother's death when she was 16. Unexpected, brutal, the kind of loss that redefines you. How her father remarried, moved to Cape Town, started a new life. How Mirabel had felt erased from his story. How she'd started traveling to prove she wasn't stuck, wasn't forgotten, wasn't just the daughter of someone who left. The blog started as spite, she admitted. I wanted him to see me succeeding, being someone. But then it became real. People connected with the stories, the culture. And I realized, I wasn't doing it for him anymore. I was doing it for me. That's the best kind of success, Min-seok said. The kind you choose. Says the man who's stuck in his family business. Not stuck. Choosing wrong. He met her eyes. Difference. Could fight. I'm just scared of what fighting costs. What if it costs less than you think? Or more than you think? He brushed her hair back. This thing between us, it's dangerous for you. You know that, right? I've been in danger before. Not like this. My uncle doesn't threaten. He eliminates. Min-seok's voice dropped. If he decides your leverage, Mirabel, I can't protect you from inside the system. I'd have to step outside it completely. And stepping outside means war, Mirabel finished. With your family. With everyone I know. Every connection. Every safe space. They'll cut me off. Come after the cafe. Maybe worse. He looked away. I can't ask you to risk that. You're not asking. I'm choosing. Based on what? 2 days. Based on 20 years of knowing you. Based on you baking me pastries and showing me stars. Based on the way you look at me like I'm the only thing that makes sense. Mirabel turned his face back to hers. Min-seok, I don't need you to be perfect. I don't need you to fight wars or blow up your life. I just need you to be honest about what you want. And if what you want is me, say it. Actually say it. He stared at her. The sunset made his eyes look bronze. I want you, he said quietly. I want you so much it scares me. I want mornings in the cafe together. I want to show you Korea properly. I want to visit Zambia and meet your family and see where you grew up. I want to not be alone anymore. I want. His voice cracked. I want to deserve you. You already do. I run a cafe while my family traffics in human suffering. And you're fighting to escape it. That's what deserving means. Not being perfect. Trying. She kissed him. So try with me. 2 weeks. And then we decide together what comes next. They sat on that rock until the sun disappeared. Until Seoul turned to lights below and stars emerged above. Min-seok pointed out constellations, told their stories. Mirabel talked about Zambian skies. How different they were, how many more stars you could see away from cities. I want to see that, Min-seok said. Your stars. Come with me then. After your 2 weeks. Just fly to Lusaka. Why not? You said yourself you're halfway to running away. Practice with a vacation. He laughed. You make it sound simple. Maybe it is. Maybe we complicate it. Walking down the mountain in darkness felt intimate. They used phone flashlights, moved carefully. Min-seok held her hand on tricky sections. At the bottom they were exhausted, sweaty, exhilarated. Food, Min-seok declared. Real food. I know a place. The place was a samgyeopsal restaurant. Korean barbecue, sizzling meat, soju flowing. They sat at a corner table and ate like they were starving. Min-seok grilled the pork perfectly, wrapped it in lettuce with garlic and samjang, fed her the first piece. Okay, that's incredible, Mirabel said. Welcome to Korean dining culture. He poured soju. You're supposed to drink, eat, drink more, eat more until you can't move. Then you get dessert. What's dessert? More soju. They drank. Laugh. For a few hours they were just two people falling for each other. No syndicates. No complications. Until Mirabel's phone rang. Unknown number. She answered. Hello. A woman's voice. Older. Dark. Speaking Korean. I don't understand, Mirabel said. English. The woman switched. You are the African girl. Dating Min-seok. Who is this? His aunt. His uncle's wife. I'm calling because, she paused. Because I was young once too. And in love with someone I shouldn't have been. So I'm warning you, leave. Tonight. Before my husband decides how to use you. I'm not leaving. Then you're stupid. Maybe. Mirabel's voice hardened. But I'm not running from your family. My family will destroy you. They can try. The woman laughed bitterly. You sound like me. 30 years ago. Leave. Stayed too. Do you know what that cost? What? Everything that mattered. They took my business, my friends, my family connections. Made me into a perfect Hwang wife. Isolated. Powerless. Is that what you want? Min-seok isn't. Min-seok is exactly his uncle. Give him 5 more years. He'll choose the family. They always do. She hung up. Mirabel set down her phone, shaking. What? Min-seok asked. Your aunt. Warning me off. His face went dark. What did she say? That you'll choose the family over me. That I'll lose everything if I stay. And what did you say? That they can try to destroy me. Mirabel met his eyes. Was she right? Will you choose them? He stopped. I don't know. I want to say no. But I've been choosing them for 10 years. I don't know if I know how to stop. Then learn. Mirabel grabbed his hand across the table. With me. We'll learn together. What if I can't? Then we'll figure that out too. But giving up before we start, that's not an option. He looked at her like she was light in darkness. How are you real? I'm real because you kept my letters. Because we made promises under stars. Because after 20 years we still found each other. She squeezed his hand. That's not coincidence, Min-seok. That's fate. And I don't waste fate. They finished dinner. Min-seok paid. Outside Seoul was neon and noise. Walk, he asked. Always. They walked through Hongdae streets, past buskers and late-night cafes, art studios and clubs pulsing with bass. Min-seok pointed out places. where he used to street perform badly for extra money in university, the bookstore where he spent hours hiding from family calls, the wall where Yuna's best graffiti piece used to be before it got painted over. "You love this city," Mirabel observed. "I hate this city," he corrected. "But it's mine. And that's complicated." They stopped at a bridge over the Han River, leaned against the railing, watching water reflect city lights. "Mirabel," Min-seok said quietly, "if things get bad, if my family escalates, I need you to promise me something." "What?" "You'll actually leave. Not consider it. Leave. We talked about." "I know. But if I tell you to run?" He turned to her. "If I call you and say it's over, go home. I need you to trust me and go. Can you promise that? What if you're just scared and pushing me away? Then you'll know. Because I'll call you crying and begging you to come back." He managed a smile. "But if I'm calm and final, that means I'm protecting you. And you need to let me. That's a terrible promise. It's the only one that matters." He cupped her face. "Please." Mirabel wanted to fight. But the desperation in his eyes, the real fear, stopped her. "Okay," she whispered. "I promise. But you have to promise me something too." "What?" "That you'll fight first. Actually fight. Don't give up without trying. Deal." He kissed her. Then again. Then deeper, until they were pressed against the bridge railing and the city was spinning and nothing existed except his mouth on hers and the certainty that this, whatever this was, mattered. When they finally broke apart, breathless, Min-seok laughed. "We should stop making out in public." "Why?" "Because I don't want to stop. And if we keep going, I'm going to forget we're standing on a bridge. So take me somewhere that's not a bridge." Min-seok looked at her and nodded. "Come on." They walked back through Hongdae's quiet streets, talking until the city felt like it belonged to them. His apartment was exactly what she expected. Books everywhere, telescope by the window, her old letters in a box on his desk. They talked for hours, losing track of time completely. At some point the conversation faded into comfortable silence, and sleep found them both, side by side, fully clothed, the sounds of Seoul soft through the window. Morning was broken by his phone. Min-seok jolted awake, grabbed it, checked the screen. His face went pale. "What?" Mirabel asked, sleep rough. "My uncle. He's called 4 times. Texted 6. He scrolled through messages, each one making him look sicker. He knows you were here. Someone saw us at the restaurant. Followed us. Okay. So he wants a meeting. Today. And Min-seok stopped. "He's threatening the café. Says if I don't show up, he'll have the health department find violations. Get it shut down. That's illegal." "He owns the health department, inspector." Min-seok was already getting dressed. "I have to go. Right now." "He's waiting at the family office." "I'm coming with you." "Absolutely not." "Min-seok." "No." He grabbed her shoulders. "You can't meet him officially. If you're on his radar as a girlfriend, not just a distraction, that's leverage. But if you're just a tourist who happened into my cafe, maybe he lets it go. You don't believe that. I have to try." He kissed her forehead. "Stay here. Or go back to your hotel. Film your content. Pretend yesterday didn't happen. I can't just. Please." His eyes were desperate. "Give me this. Let me try to handle it." She wanted to fight. But his panic was real. "Okay. But you text me every hour. And if I don't hear from you, you'll what? Storm a syndicate office." "Yes." He laughed despite everything. "Of course you would." He kissed her properly. "I'll text. Promise." He left. Mirabel sat in his empty apartment, surrounded by books and sketches and her own childhood letters. Her phone buzzed. "Yuna, the boss okay?" He just ran past the cafe looking like death. "Family meeting," Mirabel replied. "Bad one. That uncle's been circling. He knows about you, doesn't he?" Min-seok's going to do something stupid, Yuna sent. He always does when he's scared. Watch him close. Mirabel looked at the clock. It had been 20 minutes. She lasted an hour before she couldn't take it anymore. She dressed, grabbed her bag, left the apartment. Found a coffee shop across from Huang Industries' corporate office. 30 floors of steel and glass, the kind of building that screamed money and power. Security everywhere. No way she was getting inside. But she could wait. At noon, Min-seok emerged. He wasn't alone. His uncle walked beside him, hand on Min-seok's shoulder, possessive, controlling. They were talking. Min-seok's face was blank. They got into a black car. Mirabel's heart sank. She followed in a taxi, keeping 3 cars back. The sedan drove to a restaurant. Traditional, the kind where politicians made deals. Min-seok and his uncle went inside. Mirabel waited outside for 2 hours. Ordered food from a street vendor. When they finally emerged, Min-seok looked different, harder, like something had been decided. He glanced around, spotted her across the street. Their eyes met. He shook his head. Barely. Clear message, don't. Then he got in the car. They drove away. Mirabel's phone buzzed. Min-seok, I'm sorry. For what? For what I have to do. Min-seok, what did he say? What happened? No response. Min-seok. Nothing. I called. Osmo. Again. Osmo. Panic flooded her. Whatever he threatened you with, we can figure it out. Please talk to me. Still nothing. At 5, Yuna called her. He's at the café. Come now. Mirabel ran. She burst through the café door. Min-seok stood behind the counter, face unreadable. Min-seok. We need to talk. His voice was flat. Professional. Like she was a customer. Mirabel's stomach dropped. What did he do? Gave me a choice. He wouldn't meet her eyes. The café or you. What? He said I can keep running this place, keep my little escape if I stop seeing you. Cut all contact. You finish your trip, go home, we never speak again. Min-seok's voice was hollow. Or I can be with you, and he shuts down the café. Audits all my finances. Makes sure I never have anything outside the family business again. So we fight him. With what? Have no leverage. No allies. No resources that aren't tied to the family. He finally looked at her. Mirabel, I have to choose. And I'm choosing. Don't. She moved to him. Don't you dare finish that sentence. I'm choosing the café. The words landed like bullets. You're lying, Mirabel said. You're scared and you're lying. I'm being realistic. We've known each other 2 days as adults. Café is 5 years of my life. My grandmother's legacy. The only space I have. Stop. Her voice cracked. You love me. You said it last night. I do. That's why I'm doing this. His expression cracked. If I choose you, he'll destroy me. And then I'll resent you for it. Or I'll drag you down with me. Either way it ends badly. At least this way. At least this way you stay trapped. Mirabel's eyes filled with tears. You keep being who they made you instead of who you want to be. Maybe that's who I am. He looked away. Maybe I was never going to be brave enough. That's bullshit and you know it. Mirabel. No. You don't get to make this decision for both of us. She grabbed his shirt. If you're ending this, fine. But own it. Say you're too scared to fight. Say you're choosing safety over love. Don't pretend you're protecting me. I am protecting you. From what? From being with someone who loves me. From choosing my own risks. She was crying now. I'm not fragile, Min-seok. I'm here. Fighting. And you're realistic. His voice went cold. I'm being realistic. You have a life. Career. Subscribers who depend on you. You can't throw that away for someone you've known 2 days. We've known each other 20 years. Letters aren't real life. Fuck you. The words escaped before she could stop them. Don't pretend those letters meant nothing. Don't. She stopped. You're doing exactly what your aunt said. Choosing the family. proving her right. Maybe she was right. He pulled away. Maybe this is who I am. Who I'll always be. Then I was wrong about you. Mirabel stepped back. I thought I found the boy who promised me stars. But he's gone. And you're. She looked at him, really looked. Saw the pain he was hiding. The way his hands shook. The tears he was fighting. You're lying, she whispered. You don't want to end this. What I want doesn't matter. It's the only thing that matters. She touched his face. Min-seok, please. Fight with me. I can't. Yes, you can. If I fight, I lose everything. You'll lose me too. Is that better? He closed his eyes. A tear slid down his cheek. Go home, Mirabel. Please. Finish your trip. Make your content. Forget you met me. I can't forget you. Try. He opened his eyes. They were devastated. Please try. Because if you don't, if you stay here trying to save me, he'll destroy you too. And I can't. His voice broke. I can't watch that. I can't be the reason you lose your career, your safety, everything you built. Then don't be. She grabbed his hands. Choose differently. Choose me. For a moment she thought he would. His expression wavered. His grip tightened. Then he let go. Goodbye, Mirabel. Min-seok. Go. His voice was final. Please. She stood there shaking, tears streaming. Waiting for him to take it back. To say it was a mistake. Fight. He turned away. Started wiping down the counter. Like she wasn't there. Mirabel left. Outside she collapsed against the wall. Called Yuna. He's an idiot, Yuna said immediately. Don't believe him. He's lying. It felt real. Because he's good at lying. He's been lying to himself for years. Yuna's voice softened. Give him time. He'll realize. What if he doesn't? Then you tried. And that's more than most people do. Mirabel went back to her guest house. Laid on the bed. Stared at the ceiling. Her phone buzzed. Min-seok, I'm sorry. Please know, if there was any other way I'd take it. Love you. That's why I'm doing this. That's not love, she typed. That's fear. She blocked his number. 3 days. That's how long she lasted before she broke. 3 days of filming content she didn't care about. Smiling for the camera. Posting bright, cheerful updates while crying in hotel bathrooms. Her subscribers noticed. Comments asking if she was okay, if she needed a break. On day 4, Yuna called. He's worse. Won't talk to anyone. Closes the cafe early. Just sits on the rooftop alone. Yuna. I know. You blocked him. And he deserves it. But, she paused. What if I told you there was a way? A way to what? To beat his uncle. Get Min-seok free. Keep both of you safe. How? Meet me. Café in Gangnam. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. Yuna, if this is some. It's not. Promise. Just trust me. Her voice was urgent. Please. Mirabel hesitated. Then. Okay. The cafe was corporate clean, all chrome and marble. Yuna sat with an older woman. Mid-50s, sharp suit, expensive jewelry. She gestured for Mirabel to sit. This is Hwang Mi-sun, Yuna said. Min-seok's aunt. She called you before. Mirabel froze. Why would I talk to? Because I was wrong, Mi-sun interrupted. When I warned you off, I thought you were like me. Eve. Easily crushed. But you stayed. Even after he pushed you away. That's, she smiled. That's not naive. That's conviction. What do you want? To help. Mi-sun pulled out a folder. My husband is planning something. A deal that crosses lines even for us. He has been collecting evidence for months. Compromising files on judges, senators, the Minister of Justice. Blackmail material that would give him complete control over the entire government. If this goes through, he won't just own half of Seoul. He will own the whole country. I have tolerated a lot in 30 years. But this, handing an entire government to one criminal, can't. I won't. So what do you want from me? Evidence. You're a travel blogger with access and cameras. If you could get footage, concrete proof of what they're planning, I know a prosecutor. Someone who actually can't be bought. She'd move on it. Why don't you get the evidence yourself? Because I'm family. They watch me. But you're just the girl who broke my nephew's heart and left Seoul. Nobody's tracking you. Mi-sun leaned forward. One recording. That's all I need. Get it, give it to me, and I'll make sure both you and Min-seok are protected when this blows up. And if I can't, then the deal goes through. Min-seok stays trapped. And you leave knowing you could have freed him but didn't try. Mi-sun's eyes were sharp. Is that what you want? No. What do I have to do? Mi-sun smiled. Tomorrow night. Family dinner. My husband hosts them monthly at our house. Min-seok will be there. Has to be, it's mandatory. He'll be miserable. And you? She pulled out an invitation. You'll crash it. As my guest. A cultural exchange opportunity I'm hosting. They'll recognize me. That's the point. You being there will destabilize them. They'll talk more freely, thinking you're controlled. Dismissed. Mi-sun handed her a tiny device. Looked like a bracelet. Camera and microphone. Records everything. Wear this. Stay near the study. That's where the real meetings happen. This is insane. This is war. Mi-sun's voice was steel. Against men who think women are props. Who think power excuses everything. And I'm done being their prop. Mirabel looked at Yuna. You knew about this. Mi-sun reached out to me. I told her you'd help. Was I wrong? Mirabel thought about Min-seok's face when he said goodbye. The devastation he hid. The way he'd rather break both their hearts than risk her. I'll do it, she said. But if this goes wrong. It won't, Mi-sun said firmly. I've been planning my revenge for 30 years. One more day. The dinner was in a mansion. Old Korean architecture updated with modern wealth. Security everywhere. Luxury cars lining the drive. Mirabel arrived in a taxi, wearing the bracelet camera and her best dress. Mi-sun met her at the entrance. Remember, you're here as my guest. Cultural exchange. Naive. Let them underestimate you. Got it. Inside was overwhelming. Politicians, business moguls, families dressed in designer clothes. Waitstaff moving silently. And there across the room, Min-seok. He saw her. His face went white. Mirabel forced herself to look away. Mi-sun introduced her to people. My guest Mirabel. She's documenting Korean culture for her blog. I thought tonight would be educational. Polite smiles. Condescending questions. Mirabel played the part. Enthusiastic, slightly overwhelmed, harmless. The uncle appeared. Mirabel. What a surprise. Sir. She bowed slightly. Your wife was kind enough to invite me. Was she? His eyes were cold. And you accepted. Despite my nephew making it clear you weren't welcome. I didn't realize dinner invitations came with strings. Mirabel smiled. But if you'd prefer I leave. No. He glanced at Mi-sun. Enjoy. Learn about Korean family values. The emphasis on family was a threat. The dinner was formal. Multiple courses, toasts, speeches. Mirabel sat between minor family members, smiled, took photos. Activated the bracelet camera when she pretended to adjust it. Min-seok was 6 seats down. He didn't look at her once. After dinner the uncle stood. The men will adjourn for business. Ladies, Mi-sun has prepared entertainment in the garden. This was it. The moment. Mirabel excused herself, said she needed the restroom. Slipped down a hallway. Found the study. Door slightly open. Voices inside. The uncle and 2 other men. The files are confirmed. We have evidence on 23 officials. The Minister of Justice, 4 senior judges, 12 senators and 6 prosecutors. Once we move, nobody in this government will be able to touch us. Ever. We will own every courtroom, every investigation, every decision made in this country. And if someone talks, nobody talks, 'cause everyone is dirty. That's the beauty of it. We don't threaten them. We simply remind them what they have to lose. The uncle laughed. By Friday we are untouchable. Mirabel's hand shook. She had it. The confession. A hand grabbed her arm. She spun. Min-seok. He pulled her into a side room, closed the door. What are you doing here? He hissed. Your aunt invited me. Why would she? He stopped. Looked at her bracelet. His eyes widened. Are you recording them? Yes. Are you insane? If they find out. They won't. She grabbed his hand. Min-seok, your uncle just confessed everything. He's planning to blackmail the entire government. Judges, senators, the Minister of Justice. He has files on all of them. I have it all recorded. Every word. Min-seok stared at her. If he completes this deal, no prosecutor in the country will be able to touch him. He will be completely above the law. Which is exactly why we have to move tonight. Your aunt knows a prosecutor who isn't on the list. Someone he hasn't gotten to yet. But we have to move before Friday. Your aunt knows a prosecutor who can't be bought. My aunt is, he stopped. What? She's done. 30 years of this life and she's done. So she asked me to help. And I said yes. Because it's the only way to free you. Min-seok stared at her. You came back. After everything. You don't get to break my heart and think I'll just leave you trapped. Her voice shook. I love you, Min-seok. And I'm fighting for us even if you won't. Mirabel. He pulled her close. God, I've been miserable. I thought pushing you away would protect you, but I made us both suffer for nothing. Not nothing. Your uncle believed it. That's why I could get in. But now. He looked at the door. If he finds out. He won't. Not until the prosecutor has everything. Your aunt has a plan. My aunt. He laughed, pained. I should have known she'd be the one to break first. Voices in the hall. They froze. Someone's coming, Min-seok whispered. You need to leave. Out the garden door, around the side. Come with me. I can't. If I disappear, they'll know something's wrong. But you. He kissed her, fierce and desperate. Get out. Give my aunt the recording. And I'll see you. He stopped. Where are you staying? Guest house in Itaewon. Grace Hotel. I'll find you. Tonight. After this is over. I promise. He pushed her toward a different door. Go. Mirabel ran. She made it to the garden, slipped through a side gate. Took a taxi back to Itaewon. Sat in her room, shaking. Bracelet still recording because she couldn't remember how to turn it off. Midnight someone knocked. She opened the door. Min-seok collapsed into her arms. I told them I was sick. Left early. They'll be suspicious but... He held her tight. I couldn't wait. I needed to see you. It's okay. We're here. You're safe. Am I? He pulled back. Mirabel, you realize what you did. If they find out. They won't. Your aunt has this planned. And if it fails. Then we run. Both of us. Tonight if we have to. Run where? Anywhere. Zambia. Tanzania. I know places nobody can find us. She cupped his face. Min-seok, I'm not letting them take you. Not now. You're insane. I'm in love. Same thing. He kissed her. Deeper this time, like he was trying to memorize her. I'm sorry. For pushing you away. For being a coward. You were scared. That's human. I was wrong. I should have fought with you from the start. You're fighting now. She smiled. Better late than never. They sat on the bed. Min-seok told her what happened after dinner. His uncle's suspicions, questions about why he'd been distracted. How Min-seok had played the part. Sorry, remorseful, focused on family duty again. He believed it. Mirabel asked. He wanted to. That's enough. Min-seok held her hand. Tomorrow, my aunt takes the recording to the prosecutor. Then what? Then we wait. Arrests happen fast or not at all. And if they're not fast enough, then we run. Like I said. Min-seok looked at her, really looked. You'd do that. Leave your career, your life. For you. In a heartbeat. That's love, she finished. That's what love looks like. Stupid, reckless, certain. She leaned against him. So yes, run. And we'd figure it out. Build something new. Together. Together. They fell asleep tangled up, still clothed, exhausted. But for the first time in days, Min-seok looked peaceful. Morning brought sirens. Mirabel woke to her phone buzzing. Yuna, turn on the news. She did. And there it was. Breaking. Footage showed police raiding the family office. The uncle in handcuffs, face shocked. Politicians scrambling. Judges stepping down. The prosecutor standing at a podium, stone-faced. We have concrete evidence of a coordinated blackmail operation targeting senior government officials across multiple branches. The scale of this corruption is unprecedented. Arrests are ongoing. Min-seok sat up, staring at the screen. Oh my God! It worked, Mirabel breathed. Your aunt, it actually worked. Her phone rang. Listen. Are you watching? Yes. Good. Min-seok needs to stay out of public today. Let the investigation play out. His name isn't mentioned, I made sure. But he should lay low. What about you? I'm cooperating fully. And filing for divorce. Mi-sun's voice was light. 30 years of waiting and it's finally over. Thank you, Mirabel said. For doing this. Thank you for giving me courage. Watching you fight for him, she paused. Reminded me I could fight too. They hung up. Min-seok was still staring at the TV. My uncle's arrested. Yeah. And my aunt, she's free. Yeah. And I. He looked at Mirabel. I have no idea what happens now. Now. She smiled. Now we figure it out. Together. The café. Still yours. Your name isn't mentioned. My family will think I was involved. Betrayed them. Good. You did. Mirabel took his hand. Min-seok, you get to choose now. No uncle controlling you. No threats. Who do you want to be? He looked at her for a long moment. I want to be yours. You already are. I mean it. No more running. No more hiding. He grabbed both her hands. Mirabel, I know it's fast. I know we just. But I don't want to wait. I don't want careful. I want you. All in. Whatever that looks like. What are you saying? I'm saying extend your trip. Or don't. Either way, I'm coming to Zambia after this settles. I'm seeing your stars. Meeting your family. Learning your world. He pulled her close. And then we figure out where we want to build a life. Seoul or Lusaka or somewhere new. I don't care. As long as it's ours. Mirabel's heart exploded. You're serious. I kept your letters for 20 years. I built a life waiting for permission to live. And then you walked in and reminded me, I don't need permission. I just need courage. And you. He kissed her. So yes, I'm serious. Are you? Yes. She kissed him back. God, yes. They spent the day holed up in her guest house, watching news coverage, fielding calls. Yuna ecstatic. Son come. Reporters asking for statements, which they ignored. Evening came. Min-seok's phone rang. Unknown number. He answered cautious. Hello. A voice Mirabel couldn't hear. Min-seok's face went through emotions. Shock, grief, relief. He hung up. That was my cousin. The family is imploding. Board members resigning. Politicians distancing themselves. Assets frozen. He stopped. It's over. The syndicate is done. How do you feel? Free. He laughed surprised. Scared. But free. Good. And guilty. People are losing jobs. The family name was built on suffering. Mirabel touched his face. Let it burn. You'll build something better. What if I don't know how? Then we'll learn together. They went to the rooftop that night. His sanctuary. The place where everything had shifted. Min-seok set up the telescope. There, he said, pointing. Vega. Igno. The Weaver star. The one separated from her love. But they meet once a year. Cross the sky. Because some love is worth crossing impossible distances. He turned to her. You crossed the sky for me. You crossed your whole life. She leaned against him. We're both crazy. Best kind of crazy. They watched stars. Talked about futures. His cafe expanding, her content evolving, trips they'd take together. Zambia. Korea. Freeware. At midnight, Min-seok pulled out a small box. Mirabel's breath caught. What? Wait. He opened it. Inside. A simple silver ring engraved with constellations. I had this made years ago. After my grandmother died. I was going to give it to. He stopped. To whoever I loved enough to be brave for. And then you walked into my cafe and I realized, it was always you. Since we were 7. Since crayon stars and stupid promises. Min-seok. Marry me. His voice shook. Not now. Not even soon. But someday. When we've built a life that's ours. When we've figured out the geography and logistics and all the complicated parts. Marry me and let's keep every promise we made under these stars. Mirabel couldn't breathe. Yes. 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 God, yes. She kissed him. Put it on. He slid the ring onto her finger. Fit perfectly. Of course it did. They sat on that rooftop until dawn. Seoul waking below them, stars fading above. And for the first time in either of their lives, the future felt certain. 2 months later, Min-seok landed in Lusaka. Mirabel met him at the airport, grinning. You actually came. I promised. He pulled her into a kiss that made people stare. Show me everything. She did. Took him to Victoria Falls, the waterfall from her childhood letters, rainbow misting the air. To her grandmother's village, where old women fed them nshima and told stories. To markets and music and everywhere she'd dreamed of showing him. Min-seok fell in love. With the country. The warmth. The way Mirabel moved through her world with ease and joy. I could live here, he said one night, watching sunset paint the sky. Really? Or you could live in Seoul. Or we split time. I don't know. He pulled her close. I just know wherever we are, if it's together, it's home. Sappy, she teased. True. They flew back to Seoul together. Started building their life. His cafe expanding with her content expertise. Her brand evolving to include Korean-Zambian cultural exchange. They traveled. Created. Fought sometimes. Loved constantly. A year after they reunited, Min-seok proposed again. This time on Namsan Tower, under brighter stars, with their families watching via video call. Mirabel said yes again, laughing. They married in a small ceremony. Half in Seoul, half in Lusaka. Mixed traditions. Mixed languages. Perfectly them. And sometimes on quiet nights, they still pulled out those old letters. Crayon drawings and childhood promises. Evidence that some love is inevitable. That some promises made under stars by 7-year-olds are worth crossing the world to keep. We did it, Mirabel said one night, reading her own handwriting. We met under the stars. And made new promises, Min-seok added, holding her close. The ring on her finger caught the light. Constellations engraved in silver, proof that some legacies aren't poison. Some are just love, waiting patiently to be claimed. If you loved this story, comment your thoughts below. Have you ever reconnected with someone from your past? What would you risk for a second chance at love? And don't forget to like and subscribe. We're dropping more stories that'll keep you reading past midnight every single week. Your support keeps these stories coming.